Good morning. My name is James Marr from the National Weather Service here in Raleigh, North Carolina, with your weekly impact weather briefing for Central North Carolina from today, July 23rd, through Sunday, July 29th. If you're picking up this briefing a few days down the road, be sure to visit our website at weather.gov/Raleigh for the latest information, as some of this may become outdated fairly quickly, especially with the active weather that we have going on across portions of our area really for the foreseeable future, but at least the next 7 days. If you do have any questions during this webinar, feel free to utilize the questions tool in GoToWebinar, and I will get to them toward the end. And of course, if you're looking for a list of these, go to the handouts section and you can download a PDF version, and I will be disseminating it in multiple channels, including our social media sites and our partner list at the end of this. So let's get going and talk a little bit about the rain that has fallen over the last few days. So the 24-hour total precipitation that ended this time yesterday, so this was on Sunday, really this was Saturday's rainfall ending Sunday morning, was quite impressive, especially the south side, the southern Piedmont counties, mainly south of Raleigh and west of Raleigh, which saw anywhere from 1 to even some 3-inch amounts. And also northern Durham saw a couple of, or northern Durham County and Orange County saw quite a bit of rainfall toward the north there. And this is all from convection that has been spurring really each afternoon, and we're expecting that to continue today, tomorrow, and even during portions of next week too. So we got a lot of rain in the forecast, and we'll be going over that. Yesterday's rainfall amounts were a little bit more scattered. We did have some impressive amounts across portions of Winston-Salem where we saw some flash flooding occurred. And we had some flash flooding last night in northern Harnett County. So we're definitely seeing a very wet trend starting to shape up, and that's expected to continue much of this week into next week. And we'll kind of go over our weather pattern. In general, right now, what we have going on is an area of low pressure just to our west and an area of high pressure just to our east. And in between that, we have some strong southerly flow that's bringing ample moisture both from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean right over our area. So as soon as we get a little bit of heating to occur right around that noon to 2 o'clock time frame, we get widespread showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop across North Carolina. And with those storms come heavy rainfall and at times gusty winds. We had anywhere from 14 to 16 severe thunderstorm warnings issued yesterday, along with some flash flood warnings issued yesterday to account for some of these stronger storms that occurred across the area, with quite a bit of wind damage occurring. And we're expecting that trend to continue for the next few days. Midweek, we start to get that area of low pressure to wash out a little bit, so we may see some more scattering of showers and storms, probably similar to what we saw yesterday across the area. But by late week into the next weekend, we see a frontal passage come through and stall right over our area, which is going to be the trigger point for additional widespread showers and storms across Central North Carolina. So the end is not necessarily in sight. These will be a bunch of rainy days and some stormy days ahead, but they're going to be convective in nature, where some days you may see multiple inches of rain, while others you may not even see a drop. It's just going to depend on your locality, and that's very tough, especially for us to pin down multiple days in advance where they're going to see that amount of precip. So looking at your severe thunderstorm potential today, we have a marginal risk of severe weather across most of central North Carolina, and general thunder persisting both tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I would not be surprised if you see a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms creep into the area both Tuesday and Wednesday, with some of these stronger storms remaining possible as we progress throughout the week. Taking a look at your expected precipitation from the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center. Keep in mind, this is aerial average. So in a convective type setup, when we're seeing showers and storms develop, these averages tend to, at times, underperform and also overperform. For instance, those amounts we saw earlier where we were getting 3 to 4 inches, those are often spread out with the averaging across the areas that saw 0. So with the convective nature of this setup, try not to take too much details into the specific days. But if we look closer into the 7-day forecast, we could see some pretty impressive amounts, especially as you approach the coastal plain in North Carolina, where the WPC has bullseyed a 7-inch or more area across mainly east of I-95, with 3 to 5 inches generally possible across central North Carolina, with a bit less as you head west, which may not see as many storms on Thursday and Friday. Taking a look in the distant future, 8 to 14 day outlook show near normal temperatures, maybe slightly below normal temperatures because of all the precip that they're expecting. But also you see a pretty good signal, anywhere from 30 to 50% chance of above normal precipitation. So we're really looking at that wet pattern staying around for as much as the next 2 weeks. So as we continue on, while river flooding is not a concern at this time, river flooding could certainly become a concern, especially if we start seeing those impressive amounts over a 6 to 10 day stretch. Because of all the rain we've had in the past and the rain we're expecting in the immediate future, we have issued a flash flood watch that incorporates our entire forecast area. This watch goes from now through Tuesday night. So we're looking at the next 36 to 48 hours, where we could see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts possible in some of the stronger storms, or in areas that may see multiple thunderstorms moving across portions of North Carolina. And this will obviously be exacerbated in areas that saw significant rains, and there's been reports of up to 8 inches of rain falling in portions of Harnett County over the last few days. So as we're preparing for flood information, we highly recommend sharing some of our great flood graphics. We'll be sharing it on our social media just to get the message going that flooding and flooding safety is going to be really important, especially over the next 2 weeks. And feel free to visit our flooding safety webpage at weather.gov/flood. Severe weather also will be a risk today, with scattered numerous thunderstorms expected to redevelop as early as the noon hour and persisting even into the overnight hours tonight. Mostly a heavy rain threat, but some gusty winds will also be a concern, and even some small hail may end up being a concern, especially in the west over portions of the Triad and the Piedmont, the western Piedmont counties. And again, whenever severe weather is possible, we highly recommend having a way for both you and those, your family, friends, and anybody that you represent, have a way to get weather information, because it could become a lifesaver down the road. And of course, when lightning's in the area, when thunder roars, head indoors. And if you need more weather safety information, visit weather.gov/safety. I did leave out the drought and the tropical slides this week, just because we're trying to focus more on the rain threat. The tropics remain quiet at this time, with no development expected in the next 5 days. And drought, especially with all the rain that's around, should be improving as we move through the next few weeks. So we do have some abnormally dry conditions, but even with the last couple days of rain, that'll work to help conditions as we go. So just a quick summary. The stormy weather pattern is expected to continue much of this week and may even continue into next week. A flash flood watch has been issued for central North Carolina through Tuesday night, where 2 to even 4 inches of rain may be possible with locally higher amounts. A break from the constant barrage of storms will be possible late in the week. We're talking Thursday and Friday, but I still think many areas will see some sort of showers and storms, especially east of Raleigh during that time period. So maybe not as widespread, but certainly a 30 to 50% chance those days. And as I mentioned, the tropics stay quiet. And don't let this sunshine symbol fool you on Sunday. We do have a 60% chance of precipitation, but mostly in the afternoon hours. Thank you guys for attending the webinar. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I'll stick around for maybe a minute to let any trickle in. Otherwise, let us know if you have any questions or concerns, and we will, if we start seeing significant issues, and of course if we issue any headlines, we will continue to send briefings out, at least PowerPoint briefings and PDF briefings throughout this week to keep you guys updated. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a good week and stay dry.